Today we'll be talking about one of the gods in skincare, retinol. What is that can be said about retinol that has not been said before? So I challenge you to stay till the end of the video because I hear so many questions, so many doubts about retinol that maybe I'll be able to clarify something until now unclear about this beautiful ingredient. Hi skincare people, welcome back to The Age Traveler, or welcome for the first time if that's the case. My name is Custodio. I work for 30 years in the cosmetic industry. The last 12 years I've been working in product development. I'm living in Switzerland. I created the Age Traveler channel with the intention to shake up a lot of skincare ideas, see if they stand, and ask the question, what is that skin wanted just before all this marketing got in the way. In the series Perfect Formula, we've been building together this pyramid where I try to make sense of the ocean of ingredients out there. If it's the first time you are with the channel, I suggest you go back to the first video and eventually pinpoint the others which might be relevant. If you are already acquainted with the channel, we are now in this super exciting segment of the Perfect Formula pyramid. We've spoke about the AHA, the BHA, the PHA, where we talk about exfoliation, cellular turnover, and retinol. It's the golden standard, the missing link for this most exciting section of the pyramid. So I try to get dressed up for the occasion. We're going to be talking about Mai Tai in the very end as usual, but let's get serious before we get distracted. And before talking retinol, we talk retinoids. I think it's very hard to make sense out of what retinol means if we don't understand the difference between retinol and retinoids. So retinoids, it's a wide family of all vitamin A related ingredients, molecular shapes, forms, with their advantages, disadvantages, and very often we tend to confuse that all this is retinol. And then when talking about what retinol is, we drag over all the fears, restrictions, which apply often to some of other retinoids. So when we talk retinoids, prescription only, we talk mostly retinoic acid. Retinoic acid is the pure active form of vitamin A, the way your skin can synthesize and the way your skin can really operate the magic that retinoids can deliver. So retinoic acid goes under the name tretinoin, and you also have adapalene, which is a derivative molecule more geared towards pigmentation. Tazarotene will be the retinoid prescription only if you are more geared towards acne, psoriasis, or dermatitis conditions. And of course there is isotretinoin, which is Accutane, so the retinoids, which are pills that you take either in combination with topical use of retinoic acid or just by itself. My belief that most of you who have not spent enough time digging into all these names, you tend to confuse retinol with those prescription only I've mentioned. And the irritative potential of retinol compared to those prescription only, it's really a huge gap, an ocean in between. There is no way to compare how much retinol alone carries less of a potential irritation compared to retinoic acid in its pure form. One of the false ideas I would like to clarify in this video, and hopefully this will be one of those elements you find in the video which you'll remember forever and has clarified a deep-rooted doubt you have, which is retinol appealing? And actually the answer is very simple, it is not a peeling element. Why is it confusing? Because it leads to a peeling effect, but it's almost like a side effect of its true effect. And I think the best way to understand it is actually to compare it with the AHA. If you're curious about AHA, there is also this recent video I did about that, where very clearly I say that the action of all AHA, BHA, PHA, it's always related to dissolving keratin, reducing the bonds between the corneocytes, so the dead cells on the skin surface. So we talk about keratin, we talk about dead things. AHA, it's about a funeral. AHA are helping dead cells to shed off faster. And when we say that AHA boosts the cellular renewal and the cellular turnover, it's almost like a side effect of the AHA. The AHA operate on the skin surface. Keep in mind, I love my metaphors. AHA, it's about funerals. Retinol, it's about maternities. It's about baby cells. It's nothing about dead cells. Retinol operates on the cellular differentiation and proliferation. So it's a basal layer action. Is much deeper in the skin, and it's levels of skin which is basically making more skin and making new skin. Retinol, it's actually thickening the deeper layers in your epidermis, and that has a push out effect on the skin surface. So when we say peeling, when we say that retinol can assist in the peeling, it's not because it's working on the surface, it's because while thickening the deeper layers of the skin, it actually ends up refining the corneocytes and the surface layer of the epidermis. So I hope this finally made sense in your mind as much as the day I realized this, it made sense in my mind. The idea of the inside out, the outside in, retinol, the baby cells, the maternity, and AHA, the funeral, the dead cells. But retinol can do much more than this, because while operating in gene transfer and replication of cells and cellular differentiation, it actually can assist much deeper rooted benefits for skin, increasing the production of collagen and elastin while inhibiting the enzymes naturally present, the collagenases, the elastases. So those enzymes who break down naturally collagen and elastin, their action is suppressed, inhibited by the presence of retinoids. In skincare, we talk about retinization. Retinization is the period where your skin gets acquainted with the use of a retinoid, and during that period, you might experience some redness, some flakiness, maybe the skin is peeling off, and later in the video, I will share with you some ideas to minimize these, to have a happy retinization, as happy as possible. So when you mix ingredients, products, thinking about the good synergies between all of them, when in doubt for retinol, niacinamide, it's your guardian angel, which in previous videos I've told you, Custodio means guardian angel. So both Custodio and niacinamide can be your guardian angel. Why is niacinamide so important? Because it is an anti-inflammatory, and some of the initial retinization, it's related to some inflammatory defensive reactions from skin. Retinol is pushing skin to work out, is pushing baby cells to step up the game, and skin can in the beginning react with some doubt. In case of doubt, add up niacinamide to your mix and to your game, because niacinamide will have that anti-inflammatory together with boosting the production of ceramides. So having niacinamide as one element which makes the core, the structure of the skin more resilient, and ceramides themselves. So having ceramides as an ingredient in your skincare while stepping up the game with retinol, I think it's a golden triangle. In one hand retinol, another hand the AHA, ceramides with niacinamide. I would say this is the golden standard triangle. This is the Bermuda Triangle. Aging sinks if caught in between this Bermuda Triangle. And vitamin C during the day, it's also a good idea. I would say that this would be probably the 4 family of ingredients which anybody really striving for fighting these visible signs of age, if you do well AHA, retinol, with niacinamide, ceramides in between, and eventually for brightness, vitamin C for the day, a good SPF, and you are good to go. Retinization, it's all about buffering, and buffering means mixing in the beginning of the use of retinol, whatever product you are using, with a moisturizer. That's the buffer. So finally, to close, let's talk about my favorite products with retinol, shall we? If you're familiar with the channel, you guessed well, I always begin with my own babies. At Swiss Line, we have developed one booster, which is the Youth Booster, entirely around retinol. It's not meant to be the fast and furious, the highest concentration, so a gold baby, which is encapsulated retinol delivered by cyclodextrins, which is a very interesting way to go, because retinol, cyclodextrins is a fancy term. It's a carrier transport system. Just last week I was talking about bioavailability and biotechnology. The video is here, and the idea behind carrier systems, it's also to make the ingredient available exactly to the targeted areas in the skin where you should go. And cyclodextrins are used in medicine, are used in pharmacy, exactly to carry active molecules and make them permeate the liver. These are basically starch oligosaccharides which can dissolve into human organs slowly and permeate active ingredients. So we are using this fancy way. It's not only us. Dermalogical is always using it. There are other brands which are using it. Fair enough, it's not something which is exclusive, but it's something I like very much, because this way we have 0.6 here. So I already said everybody over the counter, not prescription. We are talking about a maximum of 1%. So 0.6, but delivered with cyclodextrins, which makes the bioavailability of the ingredient much more interesting. But I would classify the Youth Booster as a soft steps, as even though 0.6 is not soft, but I know by fact, and all the tests we did it, the cyclodextrins make the slow release, not ever a 0.6 punch on the face. So it's like your skin is cheated. Your skin never knows that 0.6 retinol are being delivered, because only 0.2, 0.4 at time are being released over a period of 8 hours or 9 hours. So this is a nighttime only. 90% of the retinols out on the market are nighttime use only. This is not exactly to confirm that retinol is so photosensitizing. It's more that retinol is photosensitive. So if you want retinol to really work wonders on the skin, it's much better that you use it nighttime. We are talking about all skin types, because this is a very milky texture, which is less than a normal serum, enters the skin, can be buffered in the beginning with any other serum, with a moisturizer, and you see it's seamless and it's gone. And now it's time to be very honest. I've showed you my baby Swiss Line, which is a soft walker, as I said. If you want more powerful concentrations, higher concentrations, I know no brand with such offers of retinol from the lowest but also from the highest concentrations, which is Medik8. Medik8 has maybe a collection of 10 different concentrations, different textures. So I would say, if you want one brand, if you'd ask me, what do you think is the best brand for retinol? What do you think is the brand who has researched the most and has the most state-of-the-art products with retinol? My answer is Medik8. My Swiss Line, we geared with many other directions. We are strong in growth factors, collagen, skin identical ingredients, a lot of AHA, anti-inflammatories. Retinol for us, it's something that we have not yet explored all the way. Medik8 is exactly the opposite. They are, in my eyes, the retinol specialists. I want to be fair to it. You have many different variations, but I would highlight, well, Our retinoid, it's probably the most expensive product with retinol out there on the market. It's a beautiful, engineered, various molecules of retinoids. Something for you to consider if you really want to invest and if you are already more acquainted with retinol. But I think then as a more classic starter steps, you have the normal, quote unquote, retinol versions where you have from 0.1, 0.3, 0.6 up to 1%, and eventually what I think the jewel in the crown, which are the crystal retinols. So remember, retinol or retinaldehyde, these are synonymous. Some brands will say retinol, retinaldehyde, the molecule is the same. So it's one step further compared to retinol. So this is not retinol, it's retinylaldehyde, which is already closer to the retinoic acid. So this is probably the over-the-counter closest to the prescription-only version in my book. And again, you have in Medicaid from 0.3, 0.6 to 1%, so you can grow your retinization and get acquainted. And for those who are interested in retinol, not so much as an element for anti-aging, but more as an answer against acne, blemishes, open pores, oily skin related problems, there is this gem, Blemish Relief from Dr. Perry Cone, which is the proof that you can associate, even for a sensitized skin, retinol and salicylic acid. This is one of the few products I know which combine the two elements at a very functional high concentration. When we think retinoids, we for sure think also acne and oily skin. That's how the whole story started. Vitamin A, all the retinoids were used in dermatology to begin with to fight against acne. So this is a case of serendipity. You are looking for something and you find something else. And in the end, this is the golden standard for anti-aging. So I hope the video was helpful. Try some of these products, walk before you run, but by no means be scared of retinol. You just have to get familiar with it. So it's time to say goodbye. I'm in one of those very embarrassing moments in this video where I want to talk about my tie, but I don't dare to mention the brand, so I will show it in the camera afterwards. It's the second time I'm doing this and the brand is always the same. So now that we took this out of the way, I hope to have your company again and again at The Age Traveler. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please consider doing it now. There is more pyramid to build and there are more serious being cooked and brewed to come next. So as always, say no to boring skincare. Yes, I said it before, I said it again. Why are you not subscribing the channel? It doesn't hurt, it doesn't cost you anything, makes me very happy, and I believe there is interesting more information to come next.